a day of vibrant health and deep, restorative calm. Thank you for joining our community today. We believe that the most soulful gardens are those that tell a story, where the furniture has a past and the flowers have a future. Today, we are diving into the art of upcycled chairs in the rustic garden, proving that even the most humble object can become a focal point of beauty when placed in the right light. Imagine walking through a tall patch of cosmos and Queen Anne's lace only to find a sturdy, silvered oak chair sitting quietly in the center. It looks as if it grew there. This chair doesn't need a cushion. It holds the weight of the afternoon sun and the occasional butterfly. In a rustic garden, such a piece acts as a silent storyteller, suggesting a place where someone once sat to watch the seasons change. The wood, weathered by rain and wind, blends perfectly with the organic chaos of the wildflowers, creating a scene of absolute, unhurried peace. There is a romantic, Parisian flair to a rusted iron bistro chair, especially when it is no longer used for sitting. Imagine the circular seat holding a heavy terracotta pot overflowing with trailing lobelia. The intricate scrollwork of the iron acts like a secondary set of petals, framing the flowers in a sturdy, metallic embrace. As the rust deepens into a rich, earthy orange, it provides a gorgeous color contrast to the vibrant greens and purples of the plants, turning a functional object into a permanent piece of garden sculpture. There is a specific beauty in things that are perfectly imperfect. Imagine a vintage wooden chair with layers of old turquoise and white paint gently flaking away to reveal the raw grain beneath. When paired with the soft, velvety texture of bright pink petunias, the contrast is breathtaking. The shabby nature of the chair brings out the delicate, chic of the flowers. It creates a focal point that feels lived in and loved, reminding us that beauty doesn't have to be brand new to be completely captivating. Wicker has a natural, breathable texture that feels right at home in the outdoors. Imagine an old wicker armchair tucked into a corner, where the morning glories grow. Over time, the vines find their way through the weave, locking the chair into the landscape. It becomes a living throne, half furniture and half plant. The soft, rounded lines of the wicker soften the hard edges of a patio or a stone wall, providing a textural bridge between the structured house and the wild, climbing energy of the garden. Sometimes, the best way to use a chair is to take it off the ground. Imagine a simple wooden chair frame, painted a soft sage green, hanging by sturdy jute ropes from the branch of a large oak tree. Instead of a seat, it holds a hanging basket of fuchsias that sway gently in the breeze. This floating garden adds a layer of whimsy and vertical interest to the yard, drawing the eye upward and turning the space under the tree canopy into a magical, three-dimensional gallery. Imagine a rustic chair where the seat has been replaced by a lush, aromatic cushion of creeping thyme. As you brush past it, the tiny leaves release a herbal, earthy perfume into the air. It's a throne for the senses, bringing the plants up to a level where they can be touched and smelled without bending down. This clever use of an upcycled frame turns a piece of furniture into a sensory experience, grounding the garden in the practical beauty of a kitchen herb patch. A ladder back chair is a masterclass in vertical potential. By placing small pots of succulents or pansies on each of the horizontal rungs, you create a living library of plants. It's an ideal solution for a small veranda or a narrow garden path where floor space is a luxury. The repeated lines of the chair's back provide a sense of order, while the variety of plants ensures the display feels lush and eclectic. It's a celebration of height and history, stacked one pot at a time. There is a playful, Alice in Wonderland, energy in using a series of mismatched chairs to line a garden path. Imagine a tall spindled chair followed by a low, squat stool, each one holding a different type of greenery. They act as rhythmic markers, guiding the visitor through the garden with a sense of curiosity. This use of upcycled furniture breaks up the monotony of a long hedge or fence, providing a quirky, geometric structure that feels intentional yet wonderfully informal. Sometimes, the most important part of a garden is the one spot intended for you. Imagine a single, comfortable upcycled chair, perhaps an old rocker, placed in a secret nook behind a tall hydrangea bush. It's a place where the world falls away, leaving only the sound of the birds and the rustle of the pages of your book. By placing a chair in a secluded spot, you give the garden a destination, turning a patch of green into a personal sanctuary for reflection and quiet joy. Even without a seat or a back, the heavy frame of a cast iron chair carries immense visual weight. Imagine a rusted frame stripped down to its skeletal essence, sitting amidst a field of delicate ornamental grasses. The industrial strength of the iron provides a stunning anchor for the airy, moving textures of the grass. It's a study in contrasts, the permanent versus the seasonal, the heavy versus the light, that adds a sophisticated, sculptural layer to the rustic garden. Every gardener has a star plant that deserves its own stage. Imagine a simple wooden chair, sun-bleached to a beautiful bone white, acting as a pedestal for a rare orchid or a perfectly groomed bonsai. By elevating the plant, the chair forces us to stop and notice the fine details of the petals and leaves. It turns a single pot into an event, using the humble, rustic texture of the wood to let the natural elegance of the bloom truly shine. In the most successful rustic gardens, the line between man-made and nature-made is beautifully blurred. Imagine a wooden chair that has sat in a shaded, damp corner for so long that a thick carpet of emerald moss has begun to climb its legs. This embrace from nature makes the chair feel like a permanent inhabitant of the yard. It adds a sense of ancient, woodland mystery, suggesting that the garden is a place where time slows down and everything is eventually reclaimed by the earth. As the soft light settles over the silvered wood and the moss begins its evening climb, we're reminded that beauty is often found in what we choose to preserve. An upcycled chair is more than decor. It's a seat at the table of nature. We hope these images inspired you to look at the forgotten with fresh, creative eyes. Until next time, may your home always be a place of profound peace and simple, natural grace.